How is it that I am often able to beat people in Sparking Zero or any fighting game who are obviously better than me? They might have put more time in, they may have better execution, or sometimes it's just they have better game knowledge. Well, first I'll explain one of the best ways to lose as many matches as possible. Allowing your opponent to operate on autopilot is one of the easiest ways to lose. I think one of the single greatest skills and an underrated skill in a fighting game is the ability to make your opponent have to think. Anytime you are able to take your opponent out of that autopilot to where they can't just say, oh, I got the situation that I wanted, let me do the thing that I've practiced for 10 hours. You are putting yourself in a really good position. I remember on a game called For Honor, I was playing with one of my training partners and he would talk about how one of the worst things about fighting me is that sometimes I'll just hit with a light attack and then just stand there and watch. I just want to see. And it was so powerful, even though they probably had 5-10x hours on me in that game. But just that simple thing that not a lot of other people did forced them to say, why is he doing that? What is he trying to set up? What is he trying to read? What is he trying to understand by just hitting me with a light attack and standing there? That moment opened up so many opportunities for me to get more damage, set up situations that I wanted, and ultimately close a little bit of the gap that they had in terms of their execution. They had more knowledge of the game. They had more knowledge of characters. And because fighting games is so much about committing things to second nature, when you disrupt that with a lot of people, you get them to operate out of a lot of weaknesses and holes in their game. I remember when Sparking Zero first came out and I was talking about how I thought that pokes and staggers were going to be really powerful in this game. And originally I was saying that because of how people were spamming perception. But I think even now with the way people practice super counters, stagger, being able to use pokes instead of always trying to go for damage disrupts the pattern that people have set up for themselves to be able to get those super counters off as effectively and as regularly. I think one of the keys to this is learning fights quickly. The faster you can learn your opponent and see what they like and see what they don't like and see what their tendencies are and see what they default to, the quicker you can start to make changes so that they now have to think, and then you can win.